All right, we are recording. So,
Okay.
for today's video, we're gonna have myself and Rhogar. Uh,
Hello.
this is Rhogar. So Rhogar got top four at the January 6th Stambler Open with Banette, with a list very close to this one. And what was I believe you went 4-3 at the second one, correct?
Yeah, 4-3, bubbled out of top 16. Wasn't amazing, but I mean, someone else got, I think, ninth place with the same list, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty happy with how it went.
and I mean, like 4-3 in that field is still like very impressive in my opinion. Like I would have been happy with 4-3 for sure. I was happy with my 3-2 the first week. So I mean it's I think it's very impressive that you're able to top and that we saw so many bayonet lists in the especially in the second tournament. So I've got
Yeah.
your list pulled up here. So why don't you tell me about this list you've been working on and kind of take us through it and
Yes. So I've kind of been on the whole lunarock train or Lunasoul train for a while since I picked up Baynet. Because I think it gives a really solid chance against Bombtar, which is probably like the most popular deck in the format. Um, you got a pretty standard 4-3-1 Shuppet to Bayonet. Some people play 4 Bayonet EX. I found that like two you can get by on two if one's prized, and then you usually end up taking it later in the game. Crystal Shards or Crystal Guardians Bayonet, you might want to go up to two, but I mean that's format dependent and knowing what the metagame looks like. The big kicker that most Bayonet lists don't play is the very very thick Luna Soul line. And I played both of the Soul Rocks. The one to shut off Pidgeot, and then the other one can spread damage with Reflect Beam and do some like paralysis or burn shenanigans in the mid game, which I find is very beneficial. Um, and then you got like Holland's Magnemite just as a searchable energy off of Mentors. Jolteon Star, I think, should be played in every Bayonet deck as it's literally just a double plus power. Um, it just gives you like 20 extra damage, and with the addition of like Swoop, which I'll get to a little bit later, um, you can do a lot of really cool things with it. For admin, pretty standard. Three mentor, two castaway to search buffer piece in your basic energy, and more supporters just to keep you going. Two adventurer, two reporter, pretty standard. And then a scientist and an elms. Four transceivers, pretty standard. Three warp point, and I'll hop to the warp energy as well as the switching cards. Been going back and forth between like three warp energy, three warp point, or two and two. I believe I played two and two for the first Stambler Open. Um, but I decided to kick it up to three warp energy because I think having like just the fifth pivot and in addition to Phoebe's is really, really important in a lot of matchups, especially against like POW decks. And then the three one of items, E-Switch, Retriever, and Swoop are all new additions. I kind of nabbed from Content who got top four with a very different Bayonet list, but I thought the Energy Switch and Swoop were very cool, as well as the Retriever. The Energy Switch was played by Jay Hornung as well, who's also a very well-known turn one kind of aggressive deck player, and he played Bayonet as well. Um, and I really and I think Energy Switch allows for a lot of like mid game play potential, which is really cool. And then Retriever can get you back stuff later in the game. It helps in a lot of different matchups. You can get like Jolteon back if you swoop it away, a Bayonet, a Lunatone. There's so many options you can do with it. And then swoop is mainly for the Jolteon star, or if you start like a Holland's Magnemite. It's pretty self-explanatory. Two buffer piece, just nice to have your opponent have like force your opponent to have an extra card to knock out the Bayonet or to have the perfect combination of cards. Like they'll need this, and this plus a windstorm or something to bump the buffer piece. Stadium lineup: three Crystal Beach, one Phoebe's. Um, I think Crystal Beach is too good of a card not to play because it really helps in those bomb or the electrode matchups where they just blow stuff up, and it makes it a little bit harder for them to run away with the game. And then Phoebe's as a one of is just a nice pivot. Four Rainbow synergizes very well with Banette. Three Warp, as I said, just nice switching ability, and then six Psychic and one Fighting. Um, a little lower than standard, but I think you can get away with it because two Castaway for one. And I like playing the one Fighting energy just because it's searchable off of Castaway, and I think that can be very beneficial at sometimes. And then I think the total count of energy is 15, including Holland's Magnemite, which I think is a great number and can pretty consistently hit a turn one energy, which is very important in this deck.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that introduction. And I know we had been talking about the list and talking about all of the top eight, or not just the top eight, but all of the Bayonet lists that performed well at the 113 Stambler Open, and they had like a whole bunch of different ideas, and so this one is pretty close to Rhogar's original, where it's playing this thick lunarock line as a secondary and even tertiary attacker with the psychic slow rock. And it's also playing some of the like tech cards like the energy switch and the swoop along with the high warp counts to do well against the lock decks. Um, and so I'll talk about my list as well. I'll also send you the screenshot of it just so you got something
Mhm.
to look at here. Um, so I'm gonna be playing this nidoqueen Radicate deck. And I haven't brought this to a tournament yet, and truth be told, I don't quite know if it's tournament ready yet. I think it's definitely solid so far in my testing, but it I need more experience with it, and it might need changes to the deck itself to really succeed. Um, so the basic idea with it is that um, like the way I was thinking of it was like, okay, Nidoqueen has as a deck has a lot of turns where it doesn't really need to attack with Nidoqueen. Like if it toxics something, then a lot of the times the thing that it toxics is going to get KO'd regardless of if you attack or not. So why not use those turns to like retreat to Eradicate? Eradicate can retrieve the DRE very easily, and it can also like get your trainers back. It can get you back Desert Ruins against these EX decks, or get you back brinies to tank easier, or get you back even POW. It can POW lock. And I find that POW is good in these decks that play Pidgeot. Being able to like search for POW at any given opportunity is really good. Um, and I also play the 1-1 Wobbuffet line, and that's because it's like a very easy thing to get going basically as an evolution. You can kind of like all of a sudden get an evolution out of nowhere to power up Power Lariat, just off of like one quick search for a mentor, or like one quick search for the Why Not and the invitation for the Wobbuffet or something. Um, and so that's the basic idea of it. So then the card by card, 4 Nidoran, 2 Nidorina, pretty self-explanatory. 3-1 Nidoqueen split. Since you can get the Nidoqueen, the fighting Nidoqueen back so easily with Radicate, just playing the game normally, I think that you can slim down. And the Nidoqueen Delta helps. There's a lot of lunarock in this format these days as people prepare for Pidgeot decks more, and Nidoqueen Delta just having like another like a way to kind of get through your deck and help set up while not relying on Pidgeot is nice. Um, and its attack can definitely come up. It kind of has a non-bow with Rat because Rat will get all the Pokemon out of the discard, but it can come up. And then just the 2-1-2 Pidgeot, 2-1 Rat. You want to run 2-1 because if you just run 1-1, then you can't cycle brinies very easily. Um, like you can't just pick up for brinies every turn quite as easily. and like heal Raticate, and that comes up against like Vileplume and Dragonite Delta and Utrick and that kind of thing, where they can't hit high damage thresholds on you. Um, and then the 1/1 Wob, I do like this, but also it's like not the best. If you prize one of them, it's kind of unfortunate. If you start with Wob, it's unfortunate. And I'm still kind of testing this out, but it definitely has come up and it has application. And it's funny to attack with Wobbuffet and have it KO things, which comes up sometimes. Um, and then I play the 2 PAL that lets you be able to cycle through them pretty easily with Rat. And it's just a nice card to have in general, even if you're not PAL locking. And then 2 Dual Ball over Great Ball, again, because of the Wobbuffet. If I take the Wobbuffet out, I'll swap this for Great Ball. Um, and then 2 Windstorm and 2 Desert Ruins split. Um, Rat being able to pick up Windstorm means that you can outpace Cessation Crystal because you're hitting 2 of them every time. And Desert Ruins, if you're able to like keep on using pickup to grab Desert Ruins against EX decks, I don't think any other deck in the format can really like put out infinite Desert Ruins, and so decks aren't really equipped to deal with that. Um, and then we've got the 1 Retriever, mostly to get back the Rat if it gets KO'd. 1 versus Seeker because it's nice for utility. The supporter lineup, I'm still a little unsure about. I like the 3 Copycat, 2 Admin. I feel like if you need the admin, you can just quick search for it, and Copycat just helps in the early game situations. Um, but I'm still not quite sold on this supporter lineup, and I do want to work on it more. Supporter lineups were never really my strong suit as a builder, so I do want to kind of iron this out better. And then of course the I do play the 2 Brinies to help loop them with Rat, and it's also just good for Nidoqueen in general. And then the one Mentor, just nice to be able to like get everything onto the bench, but I don't really need to play the full, Holland engine when the other supporters are so good. Um, and then the energy lineup, fairly straightforward. 4 DRE, 4 grass is kind of slim, but Rat can get energy back so easily that you can slim down. And then the 2 warp energy, I like in this deck a lot to just get out of sticky situations. And then the 1 scramble, 1 fighting, for I don't know, kind of obvious reasons. Okay, so now that we've kind of gone through these decks, let's get a game in, or maybe
Yeah.
games plural, if it doesn't go well, um, and see what happens.
Yeah, I
Um,
just popped in the thing on TCG1.
okay, yeah, I see
There
you. Let's see if I can get you before anybody else does. You're
we go.
at. Okay. So do you play this matchup often? Not obviously not with Rat, but like do you play Banette against Nidoqueen very often?
Online, I've never tested it IRL. Online, the couple games that I have played against it, feel pretty good for Bayonet, just because fighting Nidoqueen, you hit into resistance, which never feels great.
Right,
Um,
right.
However, and being able to shut off Pidgeot is really nice, but I think the Delta Nidoqueen is a really good card in this deck. As another out to get things out of the deck, like you said.
Y-
And for stuff like this, turn one Pidgeot.
yeah.
For fast, explosive. It can be, and what's cool about the deck is it can go one of two ways. Like you can either play it very fast, aggro, turn one style, or you can take it slow and toxic and get them down to low HPs.
Yeah. I think that you're right that that like the Nidoqueen Delta can help because like yeah I got turn 1 Pidgeot here, but like I know that this deck plays such a thick Mentor and Transceiver count. Like yeah, you're probably gonna
Speaking
get
of,
the Lunarock up here. Um, and so When I'm playing against a deck like this, I have to be cognizant that like whatever I grab with Pidgeot, I have to grab something that's like immediately going to be beneficial to me because I know that this is probably going to happen the next turn anyways. Ooh, Crystal Beach. Um, okay.
Yeah, wasn't sure if I should save that, but I guess I don't really want to get power lariated next turn. So, eh.
Hmm. Got some options here. Well, I'm always putting this down. Um, go that, that. Yeah. I'll just do this, and I'll grab nidoqueen and go like this. So we both had pretty good starts, I would say. Um,
Yeah,
but
having the warp here is really, really
oh yeah,
nice.
definitely.
Um, hmm, this is interesting.
Do you find
Hmm.
that it's often like a big question of what to discard off of your supporters when you play Bayonet?
Yeah, so like right now, I am debating between discarding a supporter to just like pump up the damage, get his swing for 60, which will let me two shot. But I mean, I can shitty move, so yada yada. Or just get rid of the Crystal Guardian's Bayonet and thin it into the discard immediately. But I think pitching supporter here is fine. Um, and then I think it's more beneficial considering I pitched the supporter to put the shady move onto the bench Nidoran to set up for future knockouts because like early game you're fine with taking a couple two turn knockouts on things.
Sure.
So like you want to start spreading the damage as early as possible.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And yeah, like this puts me in a weird position where like I kind of don't have much better than to just go for another toxic here. Um,
I mean, keep bumping up the damage, I guess, with the more in the discard. Uh, what do we have? Five? Hmm.
okay.
See where this goes. I mean, I
Um,
don't really want to stay inactive and take too much poison damage.
sure.
Yes, that can be fine. This is a spot where what's it called would be the psychic soul rock would be really nice.
Yeah, just to
Um
put pressure on me while I'm stuck in the active, kind of.
yeah, but I mean I guess activating POW with you having a three card hand isn't super awful for me.
All right, I did need that.
Copycat's good.
Um, okay. I'm gonna try like this and like this.
Yes. Hmm.
So you didn't attach an energy last turn, and so
No.
that could come up.
I yeah, I did miss the energy drop last turn, which is unfortunate. Uh
I know.
Here I really don't know if I should just go for hmm. I don't know if I should just I think honestly like a lot of like something you have to be kind of smart with when playing Bayonet is knowing when to sack one
It's
because
true.
especially against decks that you know have POW, um, like me sacking one here will not be a terrible thing to happen. Um, so I think just searching, I because like I need energy here, um, and more things on the bench. So I honestly think just swinging for knockout here is fine.
Yeah, I think that's also
Like
advisable.
I will go down to clutch. However, I've got some cards that I can cook with in my hand, so
Sure.
we're kind of okay.
Hmm. Check. Okay. Um. play right now, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. Um. So yeah, I do have to go for the clutch, and that's gonna basically trade for the bayonet here. And I am going to be in a well. If you want to shady move and KO Pidgeot, you're going to have to shady move it off of Nidorina unless you've got the Jolteon. So that kind of eases it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't have the Jolteon. So I mean, I think taking one off the Nidoran here is kind of okay. Just fully charging this thing up.
Sure.
Anti-use abilities. Oh, okay. It does the glitch on TCG one.
Oh.
Boom.
Um.
Well, so this puts you in a bit of an awkward spot because I mean, eight card hand is nice, but there's nothing on the bench.
Yeah, it's mounting pressure. Um. Let's see. And I'm also in kind of a bad spot. I mean, I'll let you know. I have Celios in hand, and I'm gonna play it, but it's just kind of like, what do I? If I get the nidoqueen and you have mentor and you can mentor for Jolteon, then that kills me. I'm pretty sure, right? So I'd go down to
I believe so.
100, and then you shady move. Yeah, yeah. So and there's just a pretty high chance that you've got Jolteon because you've got, yeah, all your transceivers and another mentor left, and the Jolteon itself. Um, so is there anything I can do in lieu of that? Yes, there is. Okay, I'm gonna make this play instead. I'm gonna go Celios, grab Nidoran, and I'm gonna go like this and candy it.
Ooh.
Um, I can go invitation for um, I guess just another Nidoran, right? And
Yeah, that or a Nidoqueen to Toxic and
yeah, but
call out Buffer Piece.
yeah, maybe that would have been better, but I guess just knowing it's going to die next turn. And I also I'm going to do this, and so that will maybe give me an out here because Vengeance is going to be powered up once this Nidorina goes down.
It's
Um,
30 plus 10. Yeah, you can swing a 90.
yeah, I am going to have to get the Crystal Beach knocked, but those are the games we play sometimes.
Yeah, do be like that sometimes. Hmm. Oh, I should have moved that to the other Nidoran
Yeah,
because
probably.
that
That's all right.
big Nidoqueen has weakness. Uh, what to do? I think attaching there is always good, and then
I think it's better to when you have a card like TV Reporter, it's better to play that before you attach because you could draw into the psychic and
that is true. I mean, I'm not super bothered. I still have four rainbow in deck plus uh for psychic.
right, right.
But yeah, I do see your point.
Um, yeah, okay. All right. Let's see if we hit it. All right. Can go invitation. It's in my hand. Yeah. All right. I can go like this.
Oh boy, there's the rat.
like this, like this, like this, Like, mm, actually, yeah, I'll go like this. This windstorm. And yeah, let's just roll with it here. Um,
Mhm. So let's see. I do have a guaranteed line to knock out this nidoqueen. I actually don't think attaching to the shepherd there was correct.
so here you've kind of almost got like a prize to play with because like the if you like lose a lunatone or whatever right now, then I'm not really closer to winning because I still have to KO the bayonet.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I should have attached to the active there and probably done something towards the rat on the bench there, but I don't think it'd hurt too much just to go this line of play and just be aggressive.
Sure.
I mean,
Um,
I am susceptible to a mentor or whatever it's called, admin.
right. But
But
unfortunately, yeah, I don't have the queen in hand. But I can do this, and this puts you on. You've got to have the Jolteon and the Warp. I guess if you have Warp, I'm losing anyways. So yeah, I can just go like this and like this and just toxic. And then
yeah, I
if
think
you
toxicking is the right move. Unfortunately, I've been sitting on three transceivers this whole game,
well, even then,
so
um, you are gonna need the warp energy. But if you got it, you get yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. And then that's gonna do that, and then Shadow Chance gonna take it out.
yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Um. All right. Do you want to do another one?
I'm down for the same matchup
Sure.
if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep it going. That was a good game though. That was a very like offensive bayonet kind of took over, and it was hard for nidoqueen to keep up.
Hmm.
Maybe I could have done invitation for nidoqueen instead of Rattata that one time, but you live and you learn. Um,
Yeah.
okay, go like this. Rattata is also just a generally good starter in this deck. Both of its attacks are good, and
Yeah.
it is like a nice thing about including like a small rat package in a deck is that Rattata itself is not bad.
Yes. This is unfortunate. Missing the energy drop
Oh yeah,
and a Shuppet. So I guess I don't know. Just bench that and pass.
yeah, I've been there. Um, hmm, been kind of a weird spot too. Um, I think this is fine. Go for Neat Arena, and I just call for family again.
Yeah, I think setting up the board is generally what you want to do when you're going a little slower with this deck and you know your opponent doesn't have the nuts turn one.
Right. Um, yeah, and this is going to guarantee. Well, I assume it's going to guarantee the energy unless it's prized.
Oof. Well, my prize, energy's not prize, but the prizes are not looking too hot here.
One thing I've kind of for those of you, I think it's in Magic as well. They have side decks, but I know they do in Yu-Gi-Oh. I think that would be kind of disastrous for Pokemon, but sometimes I wish like games 2 and 3, if you could like pick your prize cards, that would be like an interesting like dynamic. Um, just
Yeah, depending on the matchup, it'd be cool.
something I've thought about because so
Hmm.
many times you just have dead cards or like cards you do not want to be dead, but just to
No, I'm not too sure what to do here because I mean, you have a five card hand. I know you play Copycat, but I don't know if I should start charging up the Bane or start charging up the Shuppet on the bench, or if I should just like go for some like if I could burn and put 20 on the rat, that'd be pretty nice. But also if I paralyze and then you just evolve, then it's kind of for nothing.
right.
Um,
You've got a good amount of supporters in the discard. I mean, it's about to be 4, so that's enough to like
yeah,
threaten KOs on what you need.
yeah, I think just starting to power up the Shuppet is fine. And then we'll get the second Lunatone down to threaten in a Crystal Beach to threaten Reflect Beam.
Oh yeah, good point. Um, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, that is a good card.
There was someone in the Discord at one point being like, I can't believe that Steven's advice exists in this format and like it just like nobody plays it. Like for like good reason too, but it's just like such a crazy card. Like
Yeah,
so often
it's
it
like
just says draw 5 or draw 6. Um,
yeah, but there's just so much in this format that's I don't know about better. It's just like better in certain archetypes.
right, right. This is like kind of a weird position because like damaging the Soul Rock doesn't really even do much for me. Um, but I don't really have like a better option I can go for.
You
Um,
could just pick up the Celios, but
but then like
that doesn't seem amazing.
yeah, that kind of like wastes the rat because it's gonna get KO'd by Shadow or whatever Banette's attack is called. Or I assume that's
Shadow
like
Chant.
that could happen next turn conceivably.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'll just and also bump the beach and just go for this.
Yeah, it seems fine. This might be greedy. Sometimes it's not great to fully max out your bench space with Bayonet because like locks you off to a Jolteon play. I
Oh yeah,
really
that's
don't
true.
know. I think I should Warp Point here.
And I'll probably go to Nidoran because I have free retreat anyways. And okay,
Hmm. Yeah, so here I think going kind of a reflect beam route onto the nidoqueen is fine.
oh yeah, I think that's a good line. Okay,
Ooh,
all right. Well, how about
10
this
things
one?
you hate to see. Oh, there you go. Got one.
All right, 1 out of 4, not the worst. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd probably just go for another one, right?
Just keep getting those dudes set up.
Um, and the question is, do I want to attach to Nidoqueen or not?
See Jay Hornung spectating. I kind of want to talk to him about Baynet.
I kind of want to talk to him about Rat. I saw he was playing it, but
It's-
um, yeah, shout outs to Jay. Hope he makes more videos. Jay, if you're watching this, make more videos.
I might just ask him right now.
I'll do this. Let's go. We're gonna get feature the Lost Zone TCG commentary.
Yeah, one of the biggest retro gamers. Now, I've got a pretty cool play lined up here. I can go. I actually don't hate this. We're gonna go. Oh, I forgot. My prizes suck.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're running on one shuppet, so
No shot.
this ain't too great. I guess we just missed that.
That's rough.
Getting aired by Jay Horno. It's fine. Um,
I mean, either way, this is. Well, is this a KO? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I can go. Bada bing. Do I have six? Two, three, four. Oh no, I've only got five. Oopsie. It's fine. Like positions like
Yeah,
this are
yeah.
usually okay because you can take two prizes in one single turn.
Right.
Um, and not have to like get threatened by Powlock. So actually, I that was intentional. That was being really smart.
No, it is annoying playing against Banette where like sometimes I'll make like what I assume is like the god play, and I'll like take everything into account, and I'll be like 10 HP short shy of getting KO'd, and then I'll just forget that they can just like shady move the next turn and get 2-1. Yeah, Jay, speaking to something I've kind of been saying in the TCG1 server as well, which is this format is so big and broad that sometimes like you just got to play a deck you're comfortable with and that you're happy with and that you know well, and that's sometimes better than trying to find the optimal deck for the format and trying to metagame things. Um, yeah, I'll just do this again.
Yeah, Toxic is annoying just because it shuts off Shadow Chant. Hmm. I mean, I always think putting that into play is good. I mean, I do have the warp, and I think it's always the right move, but it just
Yeah,
feels bad to put three whole energy on a bayonet.
here I've kind of got to do this.
I don't know what to say to him. I'm a little pressed. I don't know what to say to Jay Hornung. Uh, I have not supported. I think doing this is fine. We can grab that.
Another thing I wanted to mention, I probably like will make a blog post about this at some point, but the way you order your turn uh, is pretty critical in this format. So you did it properly, where you like wait to see what I'm going to promote before you commit to a castaway, and before
Oh
you
yeah,
commit
that's
to like what you get with the castaway.
hmm
Because like it's like I was saying with the TV reporter earlier, where the like you want to play the TV reporter before you attach the energy so that you can, or you just like that'll like bluff like, oh, maybe he didn't have the energy till he TV reported, and that's why he TV reported as opposed to playing mentor or something. Um, and so like just little things like that can add up over the course of a long enough game. Um, okay, so what am I gonna do here? Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this and get back the nidoqueen. Go like this, and I do have the windstorm. Sure, why not? Um,
See, this is when having a second shuffit would be kind of nice.
yeah, this does seem like a weird position to be in. Or having like another.
Yeah, especially with full bench. Hmm. I guess. I mean, hmm, one thing you can always do is put up a soul rock and flip and hope to take a paralysis turn.
That's true.
Having three energy is kind of nice though, because I can like conceivably just get rid of one and be okay.
Right.
Um, I don't really want to give you a new hand. That's for sure.
Yeah, off of my
I
three card
think
hand.
honestly this is kind of fine. We pitch the Magnemite to maybe get it back later and then just take a look see at what you can be cooking.
Ooh, going for me. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense since I'm only on a um, three card hand. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think Foresight's one of the best attacks in this format. Like especially early game where like you admin them to like three and then just go like, yeah, you're not getting good cards for the next 2 turns.
Right, right, right. I like it like on Giraffe Rig a lot, and it seems like whenever like you can use that card offensively and defensively to shut off Jirachi, but also just to foresight lock.
Yeah, Giraffe Rig, I'm not sold on Giraffe Rig.
Oh,
I think
I
it's
mean Giraffe Rig in general, not necessarily strictly in this deck, but yeah.
I also mean in general. I mean like I think Giraffe Rig is uh, it's a little too niche. Well, I mean you could argue the same with Pidgeot. Not every deck plays Pidgeot. But like the only real big thing that has I don't know, whatchamacallit, I mean Jirachi. Jirachi is the big thing. I don't know.
It is hard to know, and I guess you could argue that like while Jirachi is popular, it's not quite popular enough to necessitate playing something like that. Um, but it's hard to say. Oh, this was not the greatest hand I could draw into. I can do this at least. But yeah, I'm finding that it's difficult. These Lunatone getting free retreat, or rather the Soul Rock having free retreat, and you being able to play so many of these warp energy, it's helping a lot in this matchup in particular because it's like even though I'm hitting with toxic, it's not really like doing anything because you're able to get out of the active so frequently. Um, yeah, valid. Trying to win this matchup.
Oh, now what do I do? There's the rat.
Yo, shoutouts to Rat.
Shout
Um,
outs to the rat. When are we getting the rat open? That's the real question.
Everybody has to play at least one rat.
Bayonet with 1/1 rat, cycle, fuck knows. Work points? I don't know. I think leaving this in to just target beam.
um, hmm. Um, all right. I kind of have to make this play.
Yeah, you gotta sack the wob sometimes. Hmm. As I said earlier, second bayonet would be nice here.
Yeah, that's kind of like the only thing that I'm like, oh, I can maybe clutch something out if I can just take this bayonet out. But it's looking like it's going to be pretty hard. Yeah, there's the warp.
Yeah, throw the buffer piece and then add that extra damage.
And yeah, that's GG. I don't have another basic, so that will be it. But no, this was good. It really showed what these tech cards can do, and like even if I didn't get the PAL package, but like the thick lunarock ensured that I was never really going to get Pidgeot set up and be able to search for the PAL. And even if I did get the PAL, it's hard enough to PAL lock this deck normally, and doing it with a much more limited package is going to be harder to do. But I think this was good. It demonstrated like how Bayonet's able to just take on these nidoqueen decks, even if they are playing different techs than normal. And yeah, do you have anything else you want to say about these games?
Uh, I mean, just like bait it, go fast. Games where you can set up, like especially the first game where you can set up when you get a turn one ascension. They're always really, really. You usually you're put on a good trajectory to do well and take the first couple prizes before your opponent can get set up. And even in games where you don't start Shuppet, like I mean, Shuppet is the ideal start, and I've seen people like not like people play like only a 1-1 lunarock line just to maximize the odds of starting Shuppet, which is fair, but I mean, starting Lunatone isn't bad. Foresight's a very good attack, and you can do some early chip with target beam. Uh, Starting Deoxys Soul Rock is not bad because Scorching Light, you can block something in paralysis or burn. And it's sneakily a very good card against Jirachi,
Yeah, oh yeah,
because you can
definitely.
like burn it. If you can burn it and start stacking damage, it forces them to like attach and retreat it, or and they can't. Stellar Wish, is that the ability? Is that's the modern one?
Wishing Star.
Wishing Star.
Yeah,
I'm
close enough.
thinking the one from freaking Team Up. Um, but yeah, and then like Reflection Beam, if you can get a mentor for the two Lunatone and spread 20 early is really nice.
Yeah, I'm really as I've played against this deck more, the Psychic Soul Rock seems a lot more potent than it looks. Its attacks look kind of like almost harmless at a glance, especially just with the two Lunatone. But yeah, no, it seems like very solid. It has a lot of like just beefing it, like everything it does is like just good enough. It seems like its attack to do special conditions is like good into Jirachi, but it's good into other things. And then it's only sniping for 20, but with Banette, a lot of the times, like the difference between a KO and not is just that 20 damage. And
Yeah.
then beefing up the Lunatone is makes it maybe able to take one more hit off of like a spinning tail or something. And
Yeah, it forces Bomb Tars to have to whatever the big attack is, something chomp.
bite off.
Bite off. Yeah, the bite move. Forces them to have to bite off the Lunatones.
Yeah, which is like
Which
not a
is
play you
quite nice.
often want to make with Bomb Tar. Um,
Yeah, so they usually will have to commit their turn to like powering a Lunatone and using bite off, and then you have like a I don't know, like another Lunatone cooking, or but fingers crossed if you have another Lunatone cooking. Usually you
right.
just kill them both before you do anything. Like that's a matchup that woof. It's a tough one, but I mean you can get it done. It really comes down to knowing when to sack the Bayonet and give up the two prizes to not let their POWs activate.
Yeah, that is kind
And
of
then
the silver lining of sorts is that like they like get out of power range so easily because they KO Bayonet so quickly, and so that kind of like
yeah.
shuts off their own game plan sometimes.
Were there any other matchups you wanted to run really quickly?
I think just these for this one, but for another video, I think we can definitely run some more matchups. Um, and I just want to have like if we're doing a video, it can be just like one set of matchups, but then like I'm sure we'll do plenty of more in the future. Um,
Yeah, totally.
but if you just want to play some friendlies now, I'm good. But
I need to test some. I don't know if you'd want to play against my LBS, but
yeah, sure. All right, we'll get some games in, but I'm gonna stop the recording here, and yeah, we'll put this
yes,
on YouTube.
in the archives.
All right. Do you have any final words?
Bayonet BDIF
Yep.
unless drag trode
Yep.
or any dark type.
That's all you need. All right. Good night, y'all.
Just go fast. Good night.